Hi and welcome along to ArsenalFanTV, and this is the Aftermath. I haven't done the Aftermath for a long time. Normally we do like player ratings after the game. Last night after the game, it's pouring down with rain, so we didn't get to do the player ratings. And I was going to do player ratings today, and I thought to myself, you know what? It's going to be horrible for the players. And it's almost like as well that I'd have to rate it in two halves. In one half of the game, the ratings would be pretty high. The first half performance by Arsenal I thought was excellent yesterday. You know, they did what I haven't seen them do for a long time, which is press, worked hard, passed the ball well. First half performances by players like Theo Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain I thought was excellent. You know, Mustafi I thought played very well in the first half. Bellerin played well in the first half. You know, first half performance was good. But then if I then started to rate them in the second half now, there'd be just so many zeros going all around the place that, you know, you'd have to say to yourself, you know, so I thought to myself, I'm going to do an Aftermath show where I'm going to get the comments of you guys to find out what you guys thought about the game yesterday. Let's recap. 10-2. 10-2 on aggregate. The worst ever aggregate defeat by any British team in the Champions League. Hooray, that prize goes to Arsenal. You know, 5-1 back-to-back. Hooray, that goes to Arsenal. How many times over the last few years have we seen these scorelines against Arsenal? For a big, tell me another big club in Europe or in the Premier League, right? Whether it be Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Barcelona. How many times do you see them getting beaten by these scorelines? For Arsenal, it's not even a surprise no more. 5-1, back-to-back, as I said. 6-0 against Chelsea, 8-2 against Manchester United, 3-1 at the weekend. These games where we just capitulate, it's not acceptable. I know yesterday that the referee was poor. Wenger was right when he said that after the game. The referee had a nightmare. What was he doing? You know, we should have had a penalty in the first half, which could have made it a whole different ball game. The penalty wasn't given. We should have, you know, Koscielny shouldn't have been sent off. Shouldn't have been a red card. To me, I don't even think that was a penalty, right? But it all went against us, yes. But who in that team, where are the leaders in that team that get together and say, right, you know what? Koscielny's gone off, we're down to 10 men. Guys, we've got no chance of winning this game, but let's play for some pride right now. We're going to play for pride. We're going to shut the game down and we're going to end up losing 2-1 and we'll go home, we'll regroup and go again against Lincoln. That we just fall apart, just like what we did when we was in Munich. We just literally just threw the towel in. Threw the towel in and another humiliation, and then everybody's leaving the ground. They're all negative, they're all unhappy. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. And something really does have to change at Arsenal. Something really does have to change. Is it the manager? Is it the board? Is it the players? Something is horribly wrong at the moment. We spent £90 million in the summer and we've gone backwards. We are worse this year than we were last year. And last year we had players playing in the team regularly like Flamini and Arteta and people like that. And we're worse now. And we spent £90 million. We're worse. I can't work it out. On my phone here, I've got some comments from you guys, because I wanted to find out what you guys have been thinking about it. Just kick off with this guy. Nathan Price says, I respect Wenger for everything that he's done, but if he really loves the club, I think he should do what's right and leave. And a lot of people were expressing that last night. Mick Huck says, it's the players' fault as well. They are gutless. Wenger, though, needs to go out gracefully. He says, Wenger out, but gracefully. So, you know, there's a lot of people, they don't really want to see Arsene Wenger sacked. Obviously, yesterday at the game, there was lots of protests before the game. There were protests after the game. People with Wenger out signs. There was Wenger out banners. You know, Some people don't like it. I personally look on it and I say, listen, fans have a right to protest if they're unhappy about something. And I look at it and I'm like, I can't hear nothing from the board. Nobody from the board who are in charge is coming out and saying anything to the fans or to the media and saying, well, this is the situation. No one. Nobody there seems capable of taking a difficult decision, whether it be to tell Arsene Wenger that, you know, listen, Arsene, you can sign a new contract, or Arsene, sorry, at the end of the season, we're not going to renew your contract. Look at Leicester. They had a difficult decision to make, the owners of the club. Ranieri, who'd won them the league, something they'd never done in their history. Do we keep him or do we get rid of him? They decided to get rid of him, and they're going to live and die by that decision, but it's a difficult decision that they've made. Our board just seemed to dither around. Oh, there's a contract on the table for Arsene Wenger. Even if there is a contract on the table for Arsene Wenger, it shouldn't be Arsene Wenger to saying to them, oh, well, you know what? I'll let you know when I'll sign it, yeah? And then we're getting all these horrible results. They should either be going up to him and saying, well, hold on, where's that contract again? It's all right, we don't want you to sign it. Or they should be saying, if they do want him to sign it, they should be saying, listen, sign it now, end the uncertainty, or the deal's off the table. But something, some sort of decision from the board. But the board, they're just, where's Stan Kroenke? The club is in crisis at the moment. It's crisis. Let's have it right. We're in a crisis at the moment. Where is the leader of the club? The owner. Not about Arsene Wenger. He's the manager. I remember in business, yeah? In a business, you've got the owner. That's the person who owns it. He's put all the money in. It's his business. If it goes bad, he's the person who pays everybody. Yeah, he pays. He pays Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger gets paid £8.5 million a year by the guy who owns the club. He pays the players, the owner. He pays the other members. He pays the staff that works at the ground staff. That's the owner of the club, is responsible for that. Where is he? You heard from him? Heard anything from him? Is he around? Has anyone seen Stan Kroenke or any of the other board members come out and say anything about what's going on at the moment? Anyone heard a whisper? What business is this? What sort of thing is this? I feel sorry for Arsene Wenger. He has to front up absolutely everything. Somebody up there needs to make the decision. Either way, Arsene Wenger's staying. We still believe in him. He's our man. He's staying for 2 more years. Sign. Fans will be, you know, a lot of fans will be angry, whatever, but me as the owner, I've made my decision. Tough decision, but that's what I've done. Or Arsene Wenger, you know what, Arsene, looked at the results recently, looked at what some of the fans, you know, unhappy. We've decided that, you know, we're not going to renew your contract at the end of the season. Actually, it's even easier than Leicester's decision because they ain't got to sack him. They're not sacking him. They're just saying, we're not going to renew your deal at the end of the season. So we want you to see it out till the end of the season, but come next year, we decide to go in a new direction. We're going to bring in a new manager, director of football. We're going to change things. Brilliant service you've given us over the years. Fantastic. You're a legend. We'll build you a statue. We'll pay you off right. You know, you're going to always be part of the DNA of this club, but we've decided to go in another direction. Where is the person making that decision either way? Yay or nay? Where is it? Where is that person? Drives me mad. Bruce City Gunners say board owner not ready to fill the void when Arsene Wenger leave. I fear things will only get worse for us unless the structure is in place. That is very true as well. The structure, there is no proper structure at the moment. There's no director of football. Who buy the players? You know, it's a mess at the moment. But, however, that shouldn't make us be fearful of change either. But he is right there. Whatever the decision on Arsene Wenger, he wasn't on the pitch. Yes, the ref was poor, but those players just gave up, and that is inexcusable. You are so right, John. You're so right. Elias says, what is it going to take for the club to realise that we're spiralling further behind the elite in Europe? We moved to the stadium to compete with teams like Bayern Munich. We were going to be in 10 years' time, they said, we will be the British version of Bayern Munich. They must have meant Bayern Munich's kids team. And the way we played last night, they probably beat us as well. Ross Daly says, Robbie, is that even a question? It's me asking, what's the situation on the club. He says, it's a joke. We've gone way too far and the players don't play for this badge anymore and it's a shame. Dip Patel says, yesterday was a shambolic performance. Ivan and Kroenke need to come out and stop hiding behind Wenger and tell us what is going on. Here, Dip Patel, you've got it spot on. Where are the owners and the people who are supposed to be running the club? Where are you? Do they know what's going on? I wonder to myself with Stan Kroenke in particular, does he know what's going on? He'd be like at home at his ranch and he's like, oh, what's going on in England? Hi guys, how's it going over there? Oh, we're 5th. Well, we're going to get 4th, right? Okay, all right, I'll chat to you at the end of the season. Listen, maybe I'm being a bit harsh there, but that's how it seems at the moment. This is why these guys need to come out and talk. Don't let people talk for you. Come out and communicate. This is the modern day of social media where people communicate through Donald Trump. Whether you hate him or whether you like him, the guy has realised the power of social media. Look how many times he gets his message out there by using Twitter. He wants to talk to his audience. He wants to talk to the American people, the world. Twitter he does. He doesn't have to call a press conference. It's as simple as that. Why can't our board do the same? Why can't they put messages out there to reassure the fans about the current situation? I don't know. Q Capone, who seems to be a big fan of Arsene Wenger, he says, we want Wenger in. Say, we want Wenger in. And he says, Arsene Wenger knows best. Now, you may be a big fan, Q Capone, and I respect you for that, but does Arsene Wenger, has he earned the right to have a new contract? Has he? If we're being honest, does Arsene Wenger this season earn the right at the end of the season to get a new contract? Doesn't seem that way at the moment to me. Miroslav says Wenger out, but he said we played well until the penalty. I agree with that. Igaro Mix says these are the real Arsenal supporters coming out to protest like this. Says it as it is. MC Brontro says Alexis for me is the trouble. As good as he is, when things don't go his way, he spits his dummy out. No tracking back last night. Alexis, that has gone under the radar a bit. How poor Alexis was last night. He was awful last night. He really was bad. Was he looking at Vidal and thinking, boy, I wish I was in your place, mate, playing with all them great players. But he was very poor last night, Alexis Sanchez. Derek Yellop says the only way the club will listen is if fans boycott games. Empty stadiums equals no money. The only thing Kroenke cares about. The only problem is if you don't go to a game, there's another 10 people behind you who will fill your seat. Look at Arsenal Football Club. Look how big and great this club is. You tell me, right? What other club, would be out? Remember, we were out of the Champions League even before last night's game. 5-1 down. And you went into that stadium yesterday and there was a few empty seats, probably about 3,000 down on the full attendance. But look how many people were still there to watch Arsenal. What other team could do that? Look at the crowds that we pulled. It wasn't that amount of people at Napoli when they was playing Real Madrid last night. You know, the stadium's always packed. We want a good team. We want a world-class team with world-class players. We want to be winning things. We deserve that because we are a big club. You don't have a divine right to win things, but you put things in place to try and win things. I'm going to do a few more here. DJ Tiny says the only protest which will have any bearing on Wenger and the board's future will be boycotting the stadium totally for games. I just can't see people boycotting the stadium because, you know, you just love your club. Philip Cashin says, where were Ty and Chris last night? Bottle jobs, he says. Actually, wasn't sure about Chris where he was yesterday, but Ty, he came afterwards. We'd actually finished filming. That's the only reason we didn't get an interview with Ty last night. But Ty was there. Ty was still defending Arsene Wenger. Chris, I spoke to him during the day. He's still defending Arsene Wenger. Still got their position. I respect those guys. That's, you know, just like, and this is another thing with fans, yeah? Let's respect each other's opinions. Just because somebody wants Arsene Wenger to stay doesn't mean that there's something wrong with him, yeah? Or just because somebody wants Arsene Wenger out doesn't mean there's nothing. They're all fans. They're fans with different opinions. Some people, for some reason at the moment, if somebody goes, if I walk into this room and I say, yeah, I want Wenger in, it's like, you want to kill me. Why? That's my opinion. I'm an Arsenal fan. I feel that maybe he should get, you know, a new contract. Or I could walk into this room and say, no, actually, I want him out. Out now. It's my opinion. So with all this stuff, but I see people on social media hating on people just because they said they want Wenger in or they want Wenger out. Why? That's their opinion. Have a debate with them. Ask them the reasons why. Debate with them. Don't start calling them the C word and I hate that. I really hate that. Awaya says, I don't get how people are saying that the board need to go. I mean, I hate them, but they ain't just going to walk out or something. Their board ain't. Why would they go at the moment, the board? They're doing all right. It's rolling in. Money's still going all right. Why are they going to walk away? I mean, me personally, I'd love to see Usmanov take over and shake the whole club up because I think he'd have the money and resources and he'd be just on a winning tip. He'd be like, I want to win the league. And we'd see a different Arsenal. But at the moment, the board is what we've got. What I say with this board is that they need to start growing some and start talking to the fans and start dealing with the real crisis. I'm going to say it again. Arsenal are in crisis at the moment. Yeah, crisis. In the league, what have we lost? 3 of our last 4 Premier League games. In the Champions League, we've just gone out back-to-back 5-1 defeats. We're out of the Premier League. We're out of the Champions League. All right, we've got Lincoln. We've got a chance in the FA Cup. But listen, there's still, to win that, you're going to have to get past Tottenham, Chelsea, Manchester United, or City. So there's absolutely, the way we've been playing this season, let's face it, we haven't beaten any of those teams. Right, so the likelihood of us doing that is slim. You've got to say, if you was doing the bettings on that, we'd be low down the rankings. We're in a crisis at the moment. We've got our top players at the club, Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, who are looking like they're going to leave. This is a crisis. And I can't hear nothing from the people who run the club. I hear a lot from the fans. I hear a lot from journalists. I hear a lot from ex-players. I hear a lot from the manager. Where are the people who run this club? Where are they? This is a crisis. In a business, if you've got a crisis, the CEO and the owners come out and start dealing with that crisis. Where are they? Thanks for watching ArsenalFanTV. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think on the whole situation at the club. We're going to do a vote as well on this. The vote, which we've done many a times. Where are you guys currently with the manager? Do you think he deserves to get a new contract and that we should sign him up to get rid of the uncertainty? Or do you think now that he has to leave the club at the end of the season or even before that? I don't know. Let us know. We're going to do a poll on it. Let us know how you feel. And as I said, let us know your comments. And thank you for watching this Aftermath special.